Hold on, we're not as live as we thought we were live. Welcome to Saturday Night Live on the orange carpet here at North Brevard. Sometimes we're live, sometimes we're Memorex. Anywho, we thought we'd try out a couple of pieces of new equipment. We'd also go through the announcements. That way we don't spend as much time tomorrow during our live services. Get most of that out of the way. A lot of this stuff's in the bulletin. You watch this video 55 times if you like my shirt. I'm sure this thing cost me like $12 somewhere. So anywho, starting off with the first slide. Happy Father's Day. Tomorrow is Father's Day. Dads are easy. If you didn't get us a gift, you know, we're probably pretty easy. You can get something tomorrow. You can say, Dad, I love you. That's probably cool enough too. So we're happy, we're easy, really easy. So I like the guy's mustache in the picture. That's a good choice. Suited there, nice. Might even grow mine back someday. Just the mustache, not the beard. Welcome to our service, North Brevard Church of Christ. Sunday. Worship. We got the worship tomorrow morning at 9, 11:30 a.m. We have the Sign Up Genius sign-up sheet, the same as each week. Each week there's a different sign-up sheet. The access code for this one's is what? VBS Kool-Aid 0621, right? VBS Kool-Aid 0621. The story behind that, that's probably one of my favorite things about VBS is Glenda's double strength Kool-Aid. If you didn't know, those of us that work till like midnight every single night, we live on that stuff. That keeps us going, really. I love her double strength Kool-Aid. There have been efforts in the past to quash that. So far they've been overruled, thankfully. So we got live worship tomorrow morning at the building with social distancing. The same as we've had the last couple weeks. We're going to use yellow tape about every third row in here. It seats about 50. That's about really what we want in the building at a time right now is about 50. There's 40 slots on the Sign Up Genius sign-up sheet. I think right now, last I looked, there's about 10 or so for 9 o'clock left. There's hardly anybody coming for 11:30 or hardly anybody signed up, so plenty of seats there. It's also going to be live streamed on Facebook Live and YouTube, same as it has been the last few weeks. So hopefully those things will work okay. I think we had a little problem with YouTube on Wednesday. That should work better this week. Each week we get a little bit better at it. So live stream if you are staying at home. It's a good choice. We're seeing numbers go up in Florida. Don't tempt it. You know, if you think you're all better off at home, stay at home. Food pantry. We've got a drive-through food pantry. It's going to be open Monday, July 6th, 1 through 3 o'clock. So that's where it's going to be. We have a food pantry right here. We served over 60 families last week. That's a good thing. It's a good outreach to the community. If people need help, they get help. So it's an easy place here. They don't take names. They just, here's your bag of food. If it helps, it helps. Thank you for your donations of food, for your donations of money, and your time. A lot of people help pre-pack bags. There are those who help to hand it out to the community. We're thankful for all that help. The cupboards are bare. Whose cupboard is this? That's what I want to know. Who has the crisp and dry oil, Heinz beans with a Z, fuel your day, Weetabix. What is Weetabix? Is that? So anywho, you're going to zoom in on that? Zoom in on that Weetabix there. I think some of that stuff came from Pantry Pride. That jar on the bottom is bouillon cubes. So there's no meat in that cupboard. Half-eaten chocolate bar. That's the way to do it right there. So cupboards are bare. We're accepting food. If you bring food in, we pass that on out. There's a list of food. I think in the bulletin probably. Bring in a few cans, bring in a case of something. We take money too. We pass that on. We can turn money into food pretty easy. I know they do a good job of using the Dollar Tree, Aldi, a couple things to get staples that they get the same thing every week. Do it out of cheap, most bang for your buck. The passage today is Proverbs 22:9. A generous person will be blessed because he shares his food with the poor. Worship recordings. We no longer hand them out in the jewel cases. There's a reason for that. Video recordings. You can go to our website. It's got links. On our website, there's a link. There's a Facebook F and a YouTube, whatever that thing is. the play symbol, I think it is. Click on either one of those. It'll take you to the link to our YouTube channel, take you to the link to our external Facebook page. That's where our live recordings are. They are also automatically stay there. After we're done with live stream, they just stay. So you can say, hey, I missed it live. I want to watch it on Monday. It's there for you. It'll stay there. Audio recording. There's also a podcast, Anchor.fm, North Brevard Church of Christ. I like the audio. I like it because I can play it in my truck. Put it on my phone. I get a podcast. I got a podcast app. I queue that up. I can queue up several things. I can listen to it on Spotify. It looks good on, Steve said it works good on Spotify. I use Beyond Pod, but I listen to other podcasts, so I can just stack it up in my queue and it just rolls one to the other. What's that? Rita uses Spotify. Spotify is very easy to use. Just go to Spotify, search for North Brevard Church of Christ. We should be the only one. If we're not, we're going to start putting orange carpet after our name or something. Anywho, I like I said, I like the podcast because I can drive. I can listen to it while I drive. What nice thing about it, I've only got a 12-minute drive back and forth to work. Listen 12 minutes now, 12 minutes later, it knows where I'm at. We also do DVDs and CDs for those who don't use the internet. See Steve, we've got a few people that get them in the mail. On Wednesday nights, we've done this last 2 weeks, we've got an interactive Bible study. Interactive should have quotes around it because so far it's kind of interactive. It's getting there. 7 o'clock, whoever preaches on Sunday will teach the class on Wednesday. So this week, Mike is going to do the sermons on Sunday. Mike will be here on Wednesday night to do a Bible class. Last couple weeks, we put questions on Facebook ahead of time so people can look at them. If you got an answer, put it in there. That way, Mike will have something to start off with. Also, you can put comments in the comments section on either Facebook Live or YouTube, and they will get to us, and we will relay those to Mike with a microphone. It's complex as it sounds. We're trying. That's all I can say is we're trying. We'll see how we're going to continue to grow, I hope. So check it out. Drop in, tune in. We'll see how we can work this out. Ladies Outside Lunch, eats Wednesday, if it ain't raining. 11 a.m. in the backyard. Front porch if it is raining. It's a time of safe fellowship. Bring a sandwich and a lawn chair. You tell us the ladies' lunch because the men's lunch probably wouldn't necessarily be a time of safe fellowship. There'd be chainsaws or something involved. So bring a lawn chair, bring a sandwich, sit out back. You can see each other, eat a lunch, catch up a little bit. It's always good to see each other even if we can't be around each other in the same setting we always have been. Central Florida Bible Camp, information overload here. Next week, starting next Sunday, Rucker Weaver Watson Week. I know my family goes to that, the Sharps go to that, several others. That starts next Sunday afternoon. It'll go through that week. That's like an all ages. It's like age 9 or 10 and up. Is that right? Age 9 or 10, whichever it is, up through graduates from high school. It's a family-oriented Bible camp week. The following week is high school week. Matt works that week. So that'd be July 5th through July 9th. That's for those entering 9th grade to those who finished 12th grade, high schoolers. Upward Bound, July 18th through July 22nd. I think that's an invitation-only type thing. It's a leadership camp. So anyhow, my kids have both been to that. Amir has been to that a couple times. So Laura's been to that. Several have been invited, and it's different. The way they do it, what they do. But anyways, these are all in the works. I know they have a whole set of safety guidelines that they're working on, that not only they're working on, that they've developed, including as soon as you get there, before you get out of the car, you'll have your temperature checked. So anybody fails the temperature check, unfortunately, a lot of people go home. So if one person in the car fails the temperature check, the whole car goes home. Somebody in the cabin fails the temperature check one day or gets sick, they isolate them first and then send them home. They go to an isolation cabin, and then they go home. But I think if they end up going home, maybe. It may be that the whole cabin goes home. I think is something I heard possibly. They're doing as safe as they can. So both of those weeks are available. All those weeks are available if you fit the guidelines. My kids will be gone, as you can see, 3 weeks. So standard for my kids. They love it. They absolutely love it. Unfortunately, I know no visitors this year, so I will not be over there gracing the sands of the Central Florida Bible Camp this summer. Eat corn nuts on the way home. Yeah, that's right. That's always my thing. I get a bag of corn nuts. I crunch as loud as I want because Camille's not with me to tell me no. So corn nuts it is. Reminder, if you have a 1989 cell phone with a little flip antenna, turn that thing off. If you got a smartphone, turn it off too. These are the announcement slides for tomorrow. If you want to practice that switch, a lot of them have a switch. I think mine anymore, you just hit the volume thing and it goes down. So anywho, we don't usually have a problem with that. Most people are normal. Most people are used to that kind of thing. Library corner. Library nuts. Library corner. Looking for a good book? We've got a lot of books in the library. Some are reference books. I know there's a whole section of Christian fiction. I've never touched one of those books. But I've heard very good things about those. I have picked up some of the reference books, some of the devotional books over time and looked through those and used those to teach class and such. We got a good selection. If you're ever looking for a place where you can just want to donate something really cool, the library is probably a good idea for that too. There's a lot of stuff that we should have in our library. It's open after services. It's pretty much open anytime you want to be. We got a little checkout system. Georgia runs the library. She runs a tight ship, so she'll chase you down. She's a black belt in karate too, I think, but maybe not. Our sympathy to the Rezcala family. Mo passed away last week after a long battle with cancer. They are still grieving, obviously. It takes a long time. Still dealing with things. So pray for Gigi. You got Gigi, Viola, and Juju in this picture with them. They got 2 sons, Bassam and Fatty also. So pray for all of them as they learn to adjust to life without Mo. Also, we lost Gloria Hill this past week. Gloria, and they usually came Sunday nights, came Wednesday nights. That's when I would see them the most. She always had a smile on her face. She was glad to be here. She's very encouraging. Anyways, Gloria passed away. She had long illness. So Tom says he's not up to phone calls or visits right now. You can send him a card. Send him a card. Sure, he appreciate that. Thank you to my dad and my son and my nephew. And they made some hand sanitizer stands. I was able to get hand sanitizer dispensers. Those are hard to come by. They're manual and they're not automatic like I would like them. However, I can't find the hand sanitizer refills for them. I've gotten one here in the auditorium. It's a soap refill. I poured out the soap, capped it, filled it with hand sanitizer. You can try it out. It needs sandbags to weight it down. Anyways, they worked hard on making those, and we'll have those available as soon as we get hand sanitizer and such in there. And they didn't cost anything to the church. So not cheap if you can find them. Trust me, they're not cheap to buy them. Graduates, we have 5 high school graduates. They all get diplomas. The diplomas were dated in May. Graduation is still on tap for the week of July 25th. I think 25th is when the Titusville High graduation is supposed to be. I think astronauts the 24th. I might be wrong on that. Anyways, Grant's in there. Grant's went to Titusville High, band, soccer. What more can I say? He probably took more AP classes than anybody else in the school. So anyways, he graduated high school, and come early August, he's on his way to Freed-Hardeman University to become a mathematics major. Tegan Durham graduated from Astronaut High School. I know she did very well. I know she took a lot of AP classes. I saw her at some of the AP tests and such. Dual enrolled, she got an AA, didn't she? Is that right? I think she got an AA. And I think she was in health science stuff. Is that right? I think so. Anyways, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Sorry. But I think that's what she was going to do. Mackenzie Robinson, Fran and Mike's daughter. Mackenzie graduated from Titusville High after moving here from Rockledge. So anyway, she graduated. Viola graduated too, so that's these two. Fantastic achievement. And Damon. Damon lives with us right now. Damon graduated high school too. Damon's planning on going on to college. He's going to be pre-med. It's his plan. So, graduation celebration. We do this every year. We can't do it like we always do, so we're going to do it the same, only different. We're going to do something this Thursday night, 25th. Yeah, this Thursday night, 7 p.m. Back up, Joe. 7 p.m. What we'd like you to do is park around back. If you come, park around back, and I'll explain that to you. Park around back, come through the doors into the foyer. Part one is going to be here in the auditorium. Social distancing, similar to Sunday morning. We might not do every third row. We might just kind of hit or miss on your own, or maybe every other row because we're not singing. We're going to do it, timer. We're going to do it with social distancing. We're going to be able to praise the graduates, hear some old stories. So usually we have, some good stories, parents cry. Yes, I probably will too. So it's our time to do that kind of thing. So we'll do that here in the foyer and here in the auditorium. We have microphones and stuff. We'll probably videotape it. We'll probably video record it, probably do it live too. So anywho, we're going to do that part in here. Then part two, we'll dismiss the graduates back to the fellowship room. They're going to each plan to have their own table. Then we'll dismiss from here. You can walk down the hallway, go to the fellowship room. You can see them at their own table. Tell them congratulations. If you got a card for them or something, drop it off with them. Grab a cupcake and head back out the back door to your cars. We don't feel it's really conducive right now to have a fellowship meal or everybody just together for that kind of thing. So that's how we're going to do it, is just tell them congratulations and head back to the cars. So that's why you park right back. All right. Zimbabwe Mission Newsletter. We support Camping Maguini and Agrippa, Peter, and Eraton in Zimbabwe. They have the newsletter. It's in the foyer. You think things are tough here? Zimbabwe's even worse. Betakar in Venezuela, Barry Rosie and his family working in Venezuela. They also help to support the Betakar orphanage in Madagascar. And his newsletter keeps us up to date on both of those. We also have newsletters from, I think Mount Dora puts out a newsletter. They put out like a magazine on a regular basis. It's a East Orange. I don't think we have a newsletter from East Orange, but it's another mission that we support. Nicaragua, Dennis down there, he sends us a report about once a month, and we can keep up with the good work there. And the Florida Prison Ministries. Gary Whiter has a newsletter that comes out quarterly, I believe. Keep up on the work there. I saw that he's sent a book and a video. We'll take a look at that, see what's up with that. Pray for our world, our country, and our leaders. Always. It affects us each and every day, all the time. The country's got a lot of turmoil in it. A lot of it boils down to the golden rule. Treat others like you'd like to be treated. It's really about that simple. The viewpoint we each have, it's a viewpoint we've grown up with, the viewpoint we've had from years of experience. Sometimes we need to look at it from somebody else's viewpoint. Take another look at it, try to get a better understanding of what shapes their viewpoint. Helps us see it better, helps us love better. It's the key to all of it. Like I said, pray for our country and pray for our leaders. There seems to be turmoil even at the highest levels. We really don't need that. That's what I can say. We need to unite. We need to be one country, indivisible. Happy birthdays. Susan Dugan has birthday on June the 24th. Susan's what, 29 again? Look at that, Susan. Happy birthday, Susan. Marie Holloway also has a birthday on June 24th. I won't say that she's 29. I also won't say that she's any older than 29. So happy birthday, Marie Holloway. Paige Kloss has a birthday on June 27th. I know how old Paige is because Paige and I were in the same class in high school. So happy birthday, Paige. Some other birthdays? Missed your birthday. Kalaya Avalez. Did I say that right? I don't know. I might have said it wrong. You think that's bad, you got to see me announce soccer games. So I think it's part of the qualifications for an elder. You're supposed to butcher names. So if I butchered that wrong, I'm sorry. So that's Trellis's granddaughter. She has a birthday on June 27th. Happy anniversary to Arliss and Calvin Nobles on June 25th. They have an anniversary on Thursday night. Happy anniversary to them. They're a great couple. I love talking to Arliss. She has a wealth of knowledge. She's smooth when you talk to her. She just love and such just oozes out of Arliss. I love them. Steve's going to come up here and talk. We're going to switch microphones here. You going to go to the pulpit? Okay. All right, so Steve's going to come update us on the Central Florida Bible Camp and all the such that's been going on there. I'm going to turn off this mic.
So I just went full screen on these pictures so that you can see the pictures and not really see me. So I just wanted to give an update on the construction progress at Central Florida Bible Camp. Majority of these pictures here are of the first girls' cabin that has been constructed with the funds that were raised in phase 1. So obviously these are pictures of tile going down in the well, I don't know which bathroom this is. There's actually two sides to this cabin, so it could be from either side. I'm not too sure, but it gives you a good idea about how really great these bathrooms are. I mean, it is like they really went first class with this sort of thing. Why is this advancing on its own? I am not advancing it. Oh, is it a timer? Oh, okay, sorry. All right, so anyway, the stalls have been put in, everything looks good, and I think the bathrooms are pretty much done. The plumbing and all that is in the fixtures, but they really do look nice. Here is a picture of inside where the bunk beds are, and I gave you a close-up of what the floor looks like. It's like a Rust-Oleum epoxy floor, really durable, good with sand and anything else that the kids can throw at it. But in the bunk areas, here the picture on the right shows you how the bunks are installed, and then each kid or each person using the bunk has their own little cubby hole there where they can put different things. And there's also obviously they have a light so they can see at night, and they have a USB charger for their phone, and I think the other one is actually the light switch for the light. But the mattresses are really good, and they're all sealed, you know, for keeping the germs down and all that sort of thing. The picture on the left is showing where they were spraying the drywall, redoing and doing the drywall in the room, had plastic covering the wood to protect it. There we have a picture of Ron, the director of Central Florida Bible Camp, and you can tell he has a smile on his face. He's pretty happy, but it gives you a good idea of the covered porch that was put in the design, and it get plenty of room to get out of the weather. The kids can get out of the way of the rain or whatever else it is. You can also see too that this is concrete, well, stucco, if you will, on the outside, but they stained it to make it look like a wood grain type pattern, or to go along with the wood. So really have done a great job. Windows are nice and big, gives you plenty of views of the lake. Here's a view looking from the lake side of the cabin up to the cabin. We were taking a tour of it at our last board meeting. So you can see that covered porch there. There's one of those on each side, and it's a big porch. Plenty of people can fit under that if they're dodging rain or just getting out of the sun. Here's a couple of other views of how big the cabin is, and it's really hard to tell how big the cabin is without being there. Pictures don't really show how big it is. I don't know why. I wish this wasn't advancing. But you can see the air conditioners on, this is actually the back side away from the lake. This is considered the back of the cabin where those air conditioners are. The air conditioning was all donated by a member of the church. He has an AC company. There was a lot of cost savings involved in building this cabin, but there was also a lot of cost involved that we had to pay out to build it. So it's not cheap, as anyone knows with construction. This is a picture of the Kaler cabin. The girls, this is the youngest girls' cabin. There's also two sides to this cabin, and this is the one that is being replaced by the new cabin. And so this is showing some work that has been done to control the sand and the runoff whenever there's heavy rains. This terrace, if you will, that they constructed out of the landscape timbers, that's going to help keep everything in place, and as well as the grass. We haven't had grass of that magnitude, and I don't know when. But there is certainly grass there now that is thriving, and there's some landscaping around it. This particular cabin is going to be repurposed into staff quarters and clinic, I believe. I think it's going to be clinic on this side, and then it might be coordinators on the other side. But they're going to basically gut the whole thing and totally redo it. Over on to the left, that end of the building is actually going to be extended out. I forget how far, I don't know, 10 or 12 feet. And that's just going to provide even more room inside to probably to the clinic and, of course, the sleeping quarters, because it's a good sized cabin, but when it's repurposed, it will be something that's greatly needed. Here's some early framing of the pool. These are pictures from our last board meeting when we were there. They had just started putting basically the sticks in the ground and putting the rough form in place. It's really amazing that they've been able to do that. And this is basically the finished, well, not the finished product. This is obviously the form that they just completed the other day. It goes from sticks and sand to something that obviously resembles a swimming pool. Now the pool has two sides, and I'm going to mess it up if I try to recall. Obviously one side is deeper than the other side. One side will be used for like volleyball, so it's a shallower side, and then maybe the deeper side is for swimming. And there's also going to be a rock climbing wall installed, I think. I'm going to mess this up because I didn't write all this down, but I think there's a rock climbing wall that's going to be over on that deep side. And obviously if you climb up to the top of the wall and then you jump into the water, something like this. But it's going to be something to see. That is basically the update from Central Florida Bible Camp on phase 1 of the construction. A lot has been done. There is still a lot to do just on phase 1. There's been delays, as you can imagine, with permittings and getting everything going has been quite the challenge. Lake County, they don't allow things to move along very, very quickly. So it has been a struggle, but things have progressed quite nicely. After the girls' cabin is finally completed, then they're going to start in on the Kaler cabins and start retrofitting that cabin. But the girls' cabin, unfortunately, is not quite ready for our week coming up of camp this next week. And so I haven't gotten an update on exactly what the holdup was on that. They were pretty much, looking to have it completed fairly soon, but evidently something has held up the progress on that. So, but it looks like it's probably 95, 98% completed, and should be completed shortly here in the next, I would say, in the next few weeks, so that somebody during these camp sessions in the summer are going to be able to utilize that cabin. It would be nice if the swimming pool gets done too. I'm not sure on the timeline when that swimming pool is going to be completed, but as you can tell, it's got quite a ways to go. I've never built a swimming pool. I know several of you out there have had swimming pools built, so you probably have an idea. You can look at that and say, oh yeah, they're 2 months away or something. I don't know. So, but that's all I have for now. I guess we can come to a close on our announcements and updates. Are you have anything else to want to say, Doug? Okay. Well, anyway, for those of you that have tuned in, thank you very much. And we will hopefully see you Sunday at some point, or we'll be seeing you as you fly through the drive-through to pick up your communion or maybe drop off a contribution. We love you all. We miss you. And we hope that you have a good rest of your Saturday. Thank you.